Hello everyone, welcome to another video on Epic 7. Today we will be talking about the new patch notes regarding the new hero banner, Bellona, her side story, remake of Ken, and the new artifact selling feature. There's going to be a few rambles in this video just because I skimmed through the patch, and this will be my second time reading. So let's start. Okay, first off, the new hero, Bellona. As you can see, she is an Earth-based ranger with a very new and interesting skill set. Right off the bat, she looks very nice, dress is nice, and she has that air of aristocracy and maturity. It's an overall well-done character design. Now let's head down to see her skills. For her first skill, Windbreaker Fan, it deals damage proportional to enemy max HP. Now that is good for boss. If she has more than 5 focus, consumes them to activate Razor Wind Fan, which I think is her third skill right here. Now, this kind of thing is pretty new, like I don't know any other characters that have this kind of skill. And also, a small note, there might be a mistranslation here. Rather than more than 5 focus, I think it might be 5 or more, or just 5, since from what I know with other characters, focus caps at 5, like Shuri and Charlotte. But you know, for anyone who has Bellona, yeah, let me know in the comments what it actually is. For the second skill, is called Butterfly Fan. It's an AoE skill that increases in damage the more enemies. Now after awakening, Bellona gains immunity for 1 turn. Now that's a good thing to have in my opinion. The third skill is Razor Wind Fan, an AoE skill with an AoE defense break for 2 turns. Yup, you heard that right. AoE defense break. Now that is a good thing right there. But what makes it even better is that if this skill is triggered by her first skill, the chances increases to 85%. Well, that is pretty big right there. Now the downside to this is that the cooldown is at 6 turns. I mean, it does balance with the OP-ness of this skill. Now, with all these skills, she'll do quite well in Queen Banshee. Her AoE defense break will really help in clearing the mobs when the queen splits. Now, the new artifact is called Iron Fan, which increases damage by 16%. At level 1 and 36% at max level when attacking an ice elemental target. It is very situational and it's very good in Banshee. With this, you can skip one of Queen Banshee's split skill. You know, when her HP hits a percentage, she instantly splits into these 4 annoying Banshees. And pretty much with this, you can definitely skip one of those. Or even better, with this, maybe you can one-hit KO the Queen Banshee, who knows? Now, from all this, is she worth getting? Well, it depends. Are you having trouble clearing stage 10 Banshee? Yes, then you might want to consider getting her. Is she your favorite? Yes, then get her. I mean, we play this game so we can use our favorites, you know, waifus in this case. If not, then you can pass for the next banner. You can wait for the Luna Limited, if she ever comes out. Now in my case, am I getting her? Yes and no. I'll be doing a few summons, and if I do get her, yay. But if not, then that's tough luck. I mean, I've had way too much bad luck in summons to be excited on getting anything really. Now for Bellona's Sidestory. Like the past few side stories, it follows the same structure and you do the same thing pretty much. Complete all quests, clear shop, grab all rewards, and then you forget. Now, down here, Bellona does get a massive stat boost for this particular event, and says Araminta, Lotz, and Rin gets 30% health and attack boost. Unfortunately, I got none of them, sadly. So for me, this will be a longer run. Now, what's next? Rewards, okay. For those who feel like they may not have enough time to clear the shop, or for casual players, I would suggest to get the Molagora seed first, and then you can get bookmarks. That's because Molagora seed is very limited, and there's not much around. And bookmarks, to get more characters or even better characters. After that, you can, well, if any of your main team needs any materials from this shop for Awakening, then that should be your next goal. After that, you can get charms and chests, and if you still have more time, you can get whatever you want. Now, down here is the reputation rewards. Now, from what I can see, in this side story, it doesn't seem like you can get gold transmit stone. Now, I'm not quite sure if this was possible on past side stories, but this one doesn't have it, which is pretty sad. Now, the new feature is artifact selling. When you sell 3-star artifacts or higher, you will get a new item called Powder of Knowledge. You can exchange these items for other artifacts. Now, there are a few artifacts that will not yield Powder of Knowledge, and they are the artifacts you get from events such as Ambrot from Kayron Challenge and Card of Small Miracles from the Christmas event. Now, the amount of powder you get depends on the star and the number of times it was limited broken. Now, looking at the table, the gain is pretty linear. So what I mean by that is that it will not yield more powder if you limit break your artifacts and then you sell it. As you can see, the increase in 3-star is 1, the increase in 4-star is 8, and the increase in 5-star is 30. Now, you will only lose the gold you spent on limit breaking it, so I highly advise that you either sell it if you don't need it. Now, you can access this feature from the lobby. You go to the shop and then Powder of Knowledge. And items for sale. Okay, so these are the items in the shop at the moment. And what you should get is entirely depends on you and what you need. Bottle of Knowledge, however, is a very special item, which you can only get once per account. You can use this for any 5-star artifact of your choice. I would recommend not getting it unless you really hit a big wall and you want that, extra limit break from one of your artifacts. Now, the cost is very expensive at $240 compared to the other prices, but I think it's fair because this item can be used for any 5-star artifact. Now, this shop changes every month, so if the artifact you want is not in this shop, then there's a chance of it showing up next month. and the rest is just bug fixes and improvements, so I'm not gonna go through that. It's nothing new. We'll have a look at the rework of Ken next. Okay, so I'm not really sure if the old Ken was that bad to the point where they needed a rework. I mean, I have him, but I don't use him because I already have one that can fill his role. I've had a read and I can tell you that the new Ken really stands out with his unique skill set. Okay, so we'll have a look at his skills first. Actually, let's go down here and check this part where we can see the difference between the old and the new skill. So for his first skill, before it applies defense break, but with the new skill, they removed it instead and added a burn when he has the vigor status. Now vigor is a unique status effect for Ken, which gives extra effects to his skills, and this is one of them. And they kept the part where damage increases proportional to his max HP. That's pretty good. For skill awakening, they slightly changed his skill where he gains an extra 5 fighting spirit at +3. For his second skill, they've replaced Ken's passive skill to an active skill called Celestial Kick. He attacks the enemy and gains speed, with a 75% chance to decrease defense for 2 turns. So they just moved the defense break from his first skill to his second skill. That's not bad. When he kills an enemy, he gains 40 spirit, and if he has vigor, defense break chance goes up to 100%, and it ignores effect resistance. Now that sounds really OP. I mean, 4 different effects. We have the speed, we have the defense break, we have the 40 spirit, and we have the ignores effect resistance. That's 4 things in one skill. To me, that sounds really OP. Okay, for skill awakening, they've changed from spirit gain to more damage, which is a good move, good idea, because he doesn't really need fighting spirit because his other skills gives that to him anyway. Oh, what is this text here? Vigor has been moved. Okay, so this is what I've been looking for. So the vigor effect is in his third skill here. Okay, we'll read the old one first, and then we'll go for the new one. The old one deals damage and stuns for 1 turn. Damage increases proportional to max HP. Okay, as with his other skills. With awakening, it further decreases attack and defense. With the new Phoenix Flurry here, it still deals damage and stun, but you also gain vigor for 4 turns. Now 4 turns is quite long, and 15 spirit. And he also has a passive skill which is embedded in this skill, where he gains 50 spirit at the first battle and gains 5 spirit every time he gets attacked. Now what I think they mean by 5 spirit, or 50 spirit, at the first battle is that it only applies at the very first turn of your very first battle. Not every battle, just the first one. Might be wrong, but that's how I translated it too. Now that is a lot of skills in one, or that is a lot of effect in one skill. And I can say that this is the bread and butter for Ken. For skill awakening, instead of gaining spirit, they changed it to reduce cooldown, which is really good considering his third skill is, it's like his setup for his other skills. And I guess, yeah, that's all for Ken's rework. Ken's new skill does give players a new way to tackle and use him. For single target defense break, he might be best in my opinion, just because he can inflict at 100% chance and can ignore resistance, with the only condition that he has the vigor status, and that vigor status persists for 4 turns, so you can't really miss that. Now he does get countered by skills with buff removals, but even then, you still have speed increase and defense break at 75% chance at his disposal. To me, the new Ken is really good, and it certainly does makes him stand out more with his unique vigor skill. Now, the other stuff is just about past events. The Christmas event and Kise's Sidestory is over, but you can still exchange your event currency for rewards for a week. Now the Cerilla challenge and roll the dice event is still up, and you have 1 week to complete it. And I'm pretty sure that's it. Yep, that's pretty much it. Okay, I guess that's all for this update patch. What do you think of Bellona? Is she worth getting? And what do you think about the new rework of Ken? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Rover out.